Hello and welcome back to Thalric Plays Blood Bowl 2. Today we are going to play another match with our... that was a bit weird pronunciation. Another match. Yeah, I don't know what I got confused about there. With our Lizardmen team, because our last opponent conceded, unfortunately. And I want to try to get another full match in. We had to replace one skink, regardless, and I replaced him with the new one. He's called Nyctalios. And just to recap, Twitchy leveled up and got +1 movement allowance, which is pretty awesome. And I also lowered our money a little bit just to stay away from getting inducements or getting a higher T value because of our money reserves. So let's just try to find an opponent. Okay, oh, a Highelf team. That could be a problem. We don't get any petty cash. Let's check his team real quick before we continue. Okay. What do they start with? Is that block dodge? Oh yeah. Okay, he's got block dodge, sidestep. Block, oh god, catch, and what's the last one? Block, dodge, catch. Dodge, catch, and what's that? Strip ball, I'm assuming, if I'm not mistaken. Why is there always waiting for answer from server? That should load quite a bit slower. No, it's faster. It's fend. Okay. Then we've got a thrower with strong arm, looks like, if I'm interpreting that right. Come on, server. Why are the load times so long? I don't understand. Yeah, he's got strong arm and dodge. That's guard, and I'm assuming a niggling. He's out for the match, so I don't care. It's dodge, dodge, and dodge, catch. Okay, yeah, that will be a problem. He's got a lot of dodge, he's got a lot of block, and we don't have a single player with tackle. So, there's that. And he gets an extra reroll. Okay, I didn't check his rerolls, but I'm assuming he had 3. So that would put him at 4 now. We do have the strength advantage, and I hope we can make use of that, but if he plays the High Elves in the way they should be played, we won't get a lot of blocks in, and so we will have to be very careful who we want to block and when. And it's rain. Rainy weather is, I think, better for us than it is for him, because it does impede throwing a little bit. Let's start on offense this time. We want as much time to bash him as we can get, I think. And our opponent's name is NWP1984, and his team is called URB, or Europe, I don't know. Okay, the obvious problems here are that it's an elf team, so it's agility 4 all around, so if there's no tackle zone involved, he will always dodge on the 2+. That combined with almost all of his players having dodge makes it very hard to pin him down, because he gets an automatic reroll on dodging, so even dodging into one tackle zone is a reasonable choice for him. Also, it's High Elves, which are the most solid, or solidest, I don't know, what's the correct plural there. Elf team, they've got armor value 8 all around, which is high for elves. Most of them have a lot more AV7 players. So it's not that likely that we'll get the numbers advantage. And even if we do, elves are very agile and they can still score on us. Okay, only their catchers have armor value 7. Okay, so there's at least that, but they also... yeah, we'll see. It doesn't look like that he has any reserve players, which is good, so any injury we inflict on him will be a permanent player loss for him. Well, at least for this match, obviously. He's setting up very defensive as to not give us too big of an attack point, I believe. But that also allows us to play aggressive, maybe. Okay, the pouring rain is somewhat of a problem for us as well, because we do need to pick up the ball, and that is harder here as well. And I think we should use both of our Mighty Blow players on the line of scrimmage. Just because getting the early injuries in could mean quite a bit. That could make a big difference in the long run. And what, let's just in case, yeah, well, not really just in case, so we're fine there. Let's keep it like that. Okay, Squirrel should definitely be back here. Swift we'll put on the sidelines. Okay, this should be fine. Getting the pickup is the biggest problem here. You know what, we can afford to set up on the line. He can't, even if he gets a perfect defense, it shouldn't help him that much, and it will allow us to get further in and get a decent blitz off. But let's just see, oh, he was at 2 rerolls now, and he's up to 3 because of the one he bought. So there's definitely some good value in there. 2 could be on the lower side for him, and 3 makes it a lot safer, so it was definitely a good choice to do that. And the weather already changed back to nice, so that's at the time being better for us than it is for him, I believe. And let's start off with the early blocks here. Yeah, that's a niggling, isn't it? Yep. Let's hope that we can get this guy injured. That would take care of his one guard player. And he's out. Okay, awesome. Perfect first block, pretty much. And badly hurt is even better, because on a permanent injury he might have been tempted to use his apothecary, which might have resulted in the player staying in. And this way he wasn't tempted to do so. Oh, we KO'd one right away. Again, very, very nice. So it's a really good start for us. Let's see. We probably don't want to blitz his block dodge guys, as they are not easy to hit. I wouldn't mind trying the catcher though. It's armor value 7. And also no block, but he does have dodge, so there is a bit of risk there. The alternative would be going for this lineman, because he doesn't have any skills to protect him. Let's try for the catcher. And I probably should have taken care of the cage before that, and that is exactly the reason why. Double skull re-rolled into double skull is just what we needed. Yeah, so the start was good, the end not so much. Yeah, and as I said it was already too late, so we can't do anything about that. And because of that, we obviously should have moved these guys over here first to protect the ball. I didn't because I didn't expect that to happen, but I should have, as we all know. He will blitz here and then move a player up, and that might be a problem, a big one. The prehensile tail is helping us here a little bit to keep this guy put. It's only a 3+ dodge, and this lineman doesn't have any skills, so that's a big help. And there's the blitz. And this catcher is the only player in range though. And he probably can't pick it up with him, but we'll just move next to the ball, I assume. I obviously don't know. But this turned our good starting position into somewhat of a problem, because he can put a lot of pressure on us now. If he doesn't pick up the ball this turn, we are pretty much forced to do so ourselves, and that might force us to use another reroll already. Okay, yeah, he's setting up in a way that makes me believe he wants to pick up the ball. He wants to pass back and get into his cage here. Let's see, that's an interesting, it's a risky move. It works, but he needs to throw as well now. In one tackle zone, that should be a long pass. Oh, this is a risky play. Which worked out perfectly for him. Oh god. Yeah, that's elves for you. And we can't even attack the cage. So that's a bit of a problem. Oh damn. Yeah, this is a big problem. Let's see, we need to move our players over here now. Underbite will just stand up. I'll blitz from another attack point, and we'll move this way. We're unlikely to get it. Oh, but we do. Okay, that's actually very good for us. I'll stay. Let's get the assist here. I'd rather try to get Mighty Jaw next to him, to be honest, because of the prehensile tail, which is probably our best friend right now. Well, unlikely to begin with, but still. And that was actually quite a dumb move on my part. Let's see, yeah, we can at least block him here. Oh yeah, but he can just move down here. We can't close this up here. Let's see, I'm forced to do going for it, I think. And I'll even do a second one. Okay, and I'll leave Swift where he is because of his sidestep. You know what, actually, let's move him one space back. Otherwise he could have just dodged through here without any tackle zones. This way he at least has to do 2 dodges, and it's with 1 tackle zone influencing him. But that double skull followed by a double skull was really, really bad. But I misplayed the setup. I should have protected the ball better, so even though it happened, it's my own fault that he got the ball. That shouldn't have happened. And if I've set up correctly, or moved my players in the right order, it wouldn't have. Okay, but this is actually really good. He won't take the rerolls, so we can keep this closed up here. He can still get by us, but he will have to do some dodges, and this probably means that he might switch sides. But he has to get away from Mighty Jaw first. And that's not as easy as it might be. But he does get the high enough dodge rolls at the moment. It's interesting, I assumed he would try to block with his catcher, get the assists in, and try to push the Croxigor away. Yeah, he's switching sides that I expected. He's even doing 2 going for it. And I always recommend doing 1 going for it first and only then go for the second one. Because if your first one fails, you might not want to try the second one. But we do also have 2 Sauri, whatever, back here, plus 1 maybe, 1 more maybe, to get over there, and he can close his cage, but not as efficiently as before, probably. We'll see. Yeah, he'll have to leave 1 corner open, which won't stop him, but it would at least make it easier for us to break in there. Let's see what happens. And that's the big risk with elves. Even though he switched sides now, he still has 2 players in scoring range over here, or maybe even more than 2, but at least 2. So even if we shift over there again, he might just switch back and score on us from this side here. Okay, this does give him a 2 dice block here. Will he take it? Nope, he's dodging first. And there's the block, but he ran out of time. Okay, so let's try, shall we? Okay, yeah, this is obviously not an ideal situation to be in. Let's make some somewhat safe moves first before we try to blitz his guys. Okay, he should probably actually go down here. And before we do anything else, let's stay on the completely safe side. We do need to make a going for it for that blitz, because I want to blitz this corner here. And in case we fail, I still want the player over there. So let's leave it at that. We'll use Young Bull for the blitz. I could blitz from this corner, but I'd much rather go in from here. It's a bit riskier, but it's also better, I believe. Only a push is fine. It's not ideal, obviously, but it could be worse. So, as we've already seen happen this match. Yeah, this is the safer block. Come on. No injury. And this allows us to now block this guy as well. That's only a push, and he does have fence, so we won't follow, but I don't really care, actually. And the big question is, what do I want to do now with the rest of my players? He's got sidestep, so we don't want to block him. We actually want to avoid creating an opening here for him. So let's move Twitchy back here. We'll box these in with Crunch there. Yeah, this lane is pretty closed, so I'm running out of time, so I need to make fast decisions. Let's do this dodge first. And I'm really not sure where to go with him, so we'll move him there, just in case. Okay. It's not an ideal position, but we can make this work, I think. Okay, that's a catcher. He's got a lot of movement. Probably the better positioning for Scar would have been closing up the middle lane here. But I ran out of time and just realized it now as I saw his movement plans. So we'll have to deal with that. But the other ones are pretty locked down here, and he can't break through this way easily. And that's also why I positioned Celerity over there. Oh, he's doing that blitz, is he? Interesting. Only a push, but we'll push him back here, so out of dodge. And we have to keep in mind he still has all of his rerolls. And he used one now. Int Y? He didn't really need to. Well, the armor break says otherwise now, obviously, but still. Let's see. Yeah, I'll use the Apothecary on that. -1 armor value is not acceptable on Osaurus, especially not on Youngbull, who already has 2 skills. And he got hurt. He got the reroll, was a badly hurt, so that means he is back in action after the next touchdown or halftime. But yeah, this is the Elven play. He's trying to draw us out and thin our lines enough for him to break through and do the touchdown. And once again on our offensive drive. And Prehensile Tail is pretty much useless at the moment. Okay, yeah, he's once again setting up for cage here. And we do reach a point where we no longer can afford to blitz the cage. We'll see. Let's see what happens here with that dodge. Yeah, he gets it. That's a big problem with elf teams. If they succeed all of their dodge rolls, you can pin them down. It's just not the way the game works, obviously. We still have some options left, of course, but it is getting more difficult. And as long as he doesn't fail any rolls, this will become a problem very soon. Let's do the obvious stuff first and the important stuff on top of that. We do need to bind up these players here. We should move Underbite before anything else. Just in case. Let's see. Crunch will... No, oh no. I'm so dumb. Why did I do this? And obviously, why did I reroll now? So... yeah. I don't even have the words. I thought I could move him, and obviously I couldn't. And I should have realized that. So he's now going to blitz one of these guys to get the player free. Well, maybe. I just should have blocked. I wanted to do movement first before blocking because of what happened already. And I just completely blanked on the guy here. That was just a dumb move. And I really would have loved to that guy not having block. Okay. Yeah. We got a nice start and it derailed immediately, as always. I'm to blame for that myself. And I always say that I do know how to play the game, and I think my reasoning makes that clear, but somewhere between explaining what I want to do and having only 2 minutes of time to do that and play somehow leaves me too stupid to do anything sometimes, apparently. A lucky 6 now would be very nice, but we don't get it, and he catches it, so that's a touchdown. I'm assuming he won't stall. He'll just do the touchdown and be done with it. Hopefully. But yeah, it's not a good situation to be in, obviously. Oh, he does some more blocking before, does he? He's trying to attack the skinks, which is a bit of a risk, at least with players that don't have block themselves. Yeah, and he's doing the touchdown now. Okay, so of course the roads are somewhat to blame for that, for him getting the touchdown on our drive, but I made some dumb mistakes. The dodge that I didn't see when I should have, obviously. That's not the first time that has happened, and yeah. That's not good. Very much not good. And yeah, and the overall defensive setup for the ball, I pretty much screwed up. Obviously. Yeah. Let's just hope that I can still turn this around. Nothing is lost yet. We are halfway through the first half of the match, so we've got more than enough time to still score as well. And we also get to beat on his line of scrimmage a little bit again, which might be a good thing. We'll see. Yeah, and he's setting up in a way that will force us to blitz for to use it going for it for blitzing. And let's see if he keeps his line of scrimmage like that, actually. We'll see. Yeah, I assumed as much. Okay, I do want to get rid of this guy, and I really hope that we can do that with Mighty Blow. He does have dodge, but he doesn't have block. And that will be very helpful, I believe. Okay, we're also out of our apothecary. We used that one up. Oh yeah, we will be forced to use Mighty Jaw. Well, we'll see. Let's just try this and hope that we can make it work. Oh, pitch invasion. Okay. None of his were hit and 3 of ours. Of course. As is expected. Especially this hole here is quite a bit of a problem. So we'll have to take care of that first. Yeah. Well, it's rolls as well as bad decisions on my part. So I won't completely blame the game, even though I would like to. And because the Croxigore got taken down, we can afford to try and take care of the catcher with Youngbull. I do want to maximize my potential on the line of scrimmage, so we'll do this instead. And he's injured. Awesome. So that's worth it. He probably should... He definitely shouldn't use his Apothecary on that. He is using... Okay, that was a lineman without a skill. He shouldn't have done that, I think. And that's perfect. I'll use a both down here. Keep it in place. Okay, before we try to blitz, let's try to pick up the ball. Which we do. So that is pretty good. Let's see, where do we want to go? I think probably back here. And then we'll try to blitz, but I won't use it going for it if we fail. And that's a risky move, I won't, it's obvious. He does have sidestep, so let's see where he ends up being pushed. I assume here or there, to get closer to our ball. Okay, he's choosing to be pushed back. In that case, we will follow to force a dodge out of him. It might also lead him to blocking us here instead of orienting his players forward, which I can live with as well. Okay, let's see. Let's just move Swift over there and keep him there. And even though 3 of our players were stunned, we are still even in numbers. We inflicted 2 injuries in the KO. So he is 3 players down, and our 3 stunned players makes that an 8 versus 8 at the moment. But we will gain the upper hand again well, next turn. As long as he doesn't take one of our players out this turn, which might as well happen here. And he's doing a lot of risky moves here as well, with his going for it and stuff like that. So far, they haven't failed, but the more he does it, the higher the chances become for that to happen. Let's see. But this is interesting. Well, and we have to play at least somewhat careful now. We need to make our way down the pitch and get close enough for us to be able to score. And we only have 1 reroll left, so we shouldn't do anything too risky, because I want to keep that reroll for safety if possible. And I think he hasn't failed a single roll so far, has he? Not even a dodge fail that got rerolled with his built-in dodge reroll. And that's at least somewhat concerning. If he gets all of his rolls for the entire match, this will be a problem. I shouldn't doomsay some stuff like that. For obvious reasons. And not because I'm superstitious or stuff like that. Nope. But still, let's just try our best here. Okay. Well, we are obviously trying our best, but let's keep on doing that. And he is presenting his thrower to us quite willingly. He does have... That's a lineman. Okay, he does have dodge though. So it's not obviously in our best interest to get him. But I will still try, I think. It's a reasonable risk to take. And I'll even do it without creating a defense first, which is another... And we do get him. Come on, Mighty Blow, do your thing. I want to follow. And that's another injury. Awesome. Very, very good. Okay. Let's see. And we now want to build our cage. But this corner is attackable, unfortunately. But we can still make things harder for him on that end. And for that, let's move Mighty Jaw over here. Okay, I can stand up Twitchy as well, so let's block this point of dodging for him. We can move Swift over this way. Oh, and we still have Scar left to move as well. And let's put him on this guy. Okay, this is actually looking not that bad. Nope, not a good choice. Let's try one dodge here and see if we can get it. We do. And that allows us to close this up as well. Well, at least he needs to blitz to dodge through there. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's still not good that he can just block instead of blitz here. But to get a reasonable safe result, he would need to get 2 assists. And then still have a player left to blitz with. And that won't be easy for him to get. And I think he will most likely focus on the skinks now instead of that. Instead of going after the ball. He does get him. We do have reserve players and it's a skink without any SPP, so an injury wouldn't be the end of the world. At least I hope it won't be. That would be a strange reason for the world to end. Okay. And since he can't get to us here, I now have to ask myself how risky I want to play this. Because at the moment, I might as well try to get some more blocks in before I try to score. But in case the block fails, that would leave us in a not favorable position. He will do this block here as well. And it's on Scar. Well, let's see what happens. But he's doing the safe stuff first, which is dodging. And Prehensile Tail is just not working properly. Well, it is, obviously, but he's just rolling very high on average. Okay. That's not that bad. I shouldn't say stuff like that. Previously, that got Youngbull injured. Okay, and that's the only guy that is left to move. And he's taking the very risky dodges here, maybe? Oh, he's doing a 2 dice against block. Interesting. Wow, why not? And he's even re-rolling it. So we'll just do both down and keep him where he is. And that reroll was a very big risk, obviously. Okay, where do we want to attack? If we want to attack. That's 4. Well, maybe let's, just in case, we'll put Scar over here. And that's a catcher. I would love to get a catcher. But that does mean leaving this space open here, which is of course risky. Just to make this reasonably safe, we'll use these 2 skinks as a substitute defense. And then I will just blitz with Young Bull. And hope that we get a defender down or both down. We do get both. Mighty Blow versus Ammo Value 7. Not good enough, unfortunately. And let's actually use the turns we have. We can afford to do that. I hope this won't fail, but I want to give him only 1 turn to score. He might get the 1 turn touchdown. It's not unheard of, even though I was unable to get it by so far. He might decide to just dodge in or just blitz his way in, and then we would be forced to block, and it might fail again. So there is some risk involved in that, but let's still try. We'll do the safe one first here. It failed, so I'll actually try that again with Mighty Jaw. I won't reroll, unfortunately. It shouldn't matter anyways. We do lose the prehensile tail here, but so far it hasn't worked for us, and well, we'll see. Yeah, he's going to do what I assumed that he would do. Probably going to blitz with this blitzer. He definitely wants a guy with block to do that. This catcher might be a good choice as well. Okay, let's see what happens here. That's good enough. Probably, well... And this is what I assumed would happen. So we will now be forced to blitz, either blitz back or just dodge. And I'm not sure what the better option is here. And since we already got 1 double skull, or quadruple skull, if it can be called that, makes this pretty scary. Okay, he's thinking about forcing his way in there now as much as possible to minimize our options here. And we'll have to wait and see what he actually ends up doing. Because so far it's not that big of a deal. Okay, he's setting up in case we lose the ball and he can pick it up next turn. Yeah, he's actually going for it. Okay, interesting. He's got some confidence. I like that. Because that's pretty much exactly the same thing I would try. And that's a gutsy dodge. Into 3 tackle zones, even with a reroll. He even gets it. which makes this worse. And that's his sidestep guy on top of that. But we should be able to deal with it. Assuming we don't fail our rolls. That's always the big if. Just for the sake of doing everything in the right order, we'll just stand up our guys here before we do anything meaningful. We'll even do this block with Young Bull to give ourselves a better chance at succeeding. And that's good enough. He doesn't have block. Mighty Blow might work wonders again. It doesn't. And now this guy would be a problem if he didn't box himself in as much. He has sidestep. And the big thing is that we only a both down is a problem here. We need to push him in some reason, in some way. That's the big thing. Otherwise, we have a small problem. Okay, push is good enough. Can either go there or over here. Both puts him out of reach of the ball carrier. So that's a touchdown for us. Not an ideal first half, but we did manage to score in the end anyways, and get a level up as well with Squirrel, so that's pretty good. He does have one turn left to even the to score again, but a one-turn touchdown against Lizardmen isn't that easy. But I'll set up against it anyways. Well, at least in the dodge department here. I probably should set up differently. But the Croxigore alone should be a good defense back there. Yeah, we only have one Saurus without a skill now, do we? Yep, and he's already on the line. Okay. And this setup forces him to dodge through 2 tackle zones, followed by 1 tackle zone, if he gets to push a player that far. And you can actually only set up that way if you have 11 players on the pitch. Otherwise, there's always one corner, left and right, where there's only 1 player covering, so dodging is easier. And yeah, let's see if he will attempt the one-turn touchdown or not. And so far the setup doesn't look like it, but he's still got a minute left to change that. He's maybe getting there. Well, this doesn't look quite right. And even a quick snap won't be enough. That would give him 11 spaces, but he would still need 2 more. So I'm assuming he either doesn't know how to or doesn't want to risk it. Either way, it's fine with me, to be honest. Okay, both teams' players get hit by a rock. And his guy is dead. Oh crap. That's the lineman. And Scar got hit as well. And Scar's just KO'd. Okay. Ooh. So he might come back. Yeah, but... Well, I don't know if he actually wrote that or if there's some sort of swearing filter. Okay, I can't... Well, can I look into the settings? Is there something that... Well, maybe under coach or game controls. I don't know. But it's just a lineman with an SPP, so... It's... For high elves, it's not that good, still. And I'm assuming that's why he used his first apothecary to begin with. Because High Elves have very high cost players. They are really expensive to replace. Even the linemen. It just comes with their very robust and above average profile. The average profile is 6338. And High Elf linemen have 6348. And I think a High Elf lineman comes in at 70,000, I think. The Blitzers are at even higher. And it's just a very expensive team to get players with, so every loss hurts. And he finally fails at something, so he rolled a double one on the pickup. That's a bit too late, but hey, maybe that's an omen for the second half. We'll find out. But he will receive the ball now again. Come on. Okay, Star stays knocked out. We still have 3 players more on the pitch than he does, which is a good thing. But we're also in a situation where where the setup is not easy. And I'm still thinking how I want to play this. Nope, that's one square too far. He doesn't have any frenzy, so we want to close up his lines of attack as much as possible. And this means probably setting up somewhere like this. Maybe what happens if he will... This might be better, at least on this part. Here we've got these Soros, which acts as a good buffer. Here we don't. So this looks a little bit odd because it's lopsided, but I think it might actually work, because otherwise he could dodge easier here, and he will go for Nyctalios, I'm pretty sure about it. Let's switch these two actually. And you know what, Let's put Swift there. It's his most obvious point of attack, and so Swift with sidestep can stand in the way. I don't like putting him out there like this, but he's probably the best bet. He might just ignore that and go for the sidelines still. I hope he won't do that, but we'll see. Okay, but we do get some long overdue injuries in, and I think Youngbull inflicted at least 2 of them, maybe all 3, I'm not sure. The throw rock obviously doesn't count, and we're only seeing 3 instead of 4 in total because he apothecaried one to badly hurt, and so that player is back in. It might be the dead one, but I'm not sure. And his thrower is out, which is a very big thing, because his thrower, the High Elf team actually has the best starting thrower in the game, with pass and, well, yeah, I think he starts with pass and safe throw, but especially safe throw, which makes his player not lose the ball if he fails the throw, but then I don't actually know what safe throw does. Not exactly, because I don't use it very often, but it's a very good safety skill. We could take the time to look at it right now, probably. Balls can't be intercepted if... Oh, wow. That reminds me of something. Good enough. But he was forced to take a reroll. You know, let's... You can pause the video and take a look at safe throw. It's a very good skill to have for a thrower. He also got a double skill, which gave him strong arm, and that's really good. And pass is makes him even better, so he... Oh, wow, he's doing some very risky dodges here. That's unexpected. especially considering that he already used up a reroll. And we do get a bribe from the get the ref result here, so I might want to foul. Oh, we failed to pick up. And since he used one of his rerolls already, he does lose the ball there. Let's take a look. If at all possible, I would like to blitz this catcher, preferably with a player that has Mighty Blow. But that seems unlikely so far. Yeah, he does get a lot of ones now, but he didn't get any at the beginning of the game, so yeah. Happens. It's still not nice that he's getting them, obviously, but I could be sadder about it a little bit. Okay, let's move Mighty Jaw over there. And Mighty Jaw is really reliable this match. So far we haven't seen a one out of him yet. That's going for it, so we shouldn't do that yet. Let's move Squirrel over there. And just in case we fail, I just want to mark this player. We can afford to do that with celerity. And now we do the blitz before we do anything else. Good. Push is good enough. I just wanted to get the tackle zone away, which is exactly what we achieved here. And let's try that pickup now. We get it, and let's move back one space as well. And now we can just set up a cage around this player. Okay, yeah, so that failed. Pretty much the same happened to him that happened to us in the first half. He didn't protect the ball properly after using a reroll on top of that, and that ended with him losing the ball now. Okay, let's just for safety, let's keep Crunch back in case he does get the ball, even though it's unlikely. And I'll also risk Twitchy here, just to not give this guy a good 2-dice block. He might get the assist and still get it, but I'll take that risk. And he should focus on defense and on the ball, because otherwise we're just going to score. And that will give us another chance to get Scar back. So I think it is in our best interest to score as fast as possible. And that's only a push. He might take the both down. He takes the reroll. Interesting. And that was an unnecessary reroll, even though he does get the armor break again, but this time it's only a stun. Oh. Yeah, I assumed he might foul there for a moment, but it's unlikely, probably. He can't even get an assist on the ball carrier. And I don't think we can feed the touchdown to any specific player now. Swift would be the next best choice, or Twitchy if he weren't so far back. Swift because he is at least close to leveling up. And there's a 1. Hey, Prehensile Tail is doing his job, but it looked like he rolled a 1 there. Yeah. And that was a player without dodge, so no built-in reroll. Squirrel already leveled up and is in pretty much the same situation, so it's not that important. We shouldn't force the touchdown though, so I won't use the going for it to do that. It's just a push. Good enough. Okay. Let's see, can I move Mighty Jaw? Does he want to cooperate? He does not. That's an important piece of information there. And this guy does present a bit of a problem, so we actually might try to score this turn, after all. But let's set up for it. And I'll blitz back here with Crunch. I was thinking about doing that with this Saurus, but he doesn't have blocks, so I don't want to. And that's perfectly fine. Well, we obviously don't want this guy to go anywhere. And I set them up this way in case we fail. He just can't pick up the ball in case it doesn't scatter outside. And we might actually be good here. No, that catcher has a movement allowance of 8. That's too fast. Let's try it. We get it. Okay. He could have reached us, so I didn't want to risk it. And just like that, we're in the lead. Pretty much the same thing that happened to us in the first half. And Scar Stakes knocked out, so there's that. But it could be worse. We're still up 3 players, and we're back in the lead. Or in the lead in the first place. Or to begin with, whatever the right phrase here is. Yeah, let's keep the setup as it is. That worked out fine. We still have all of our rerolls, and he's down to 1. And he's not playing a bad game, and his leveling, his skill choices are actually very good. He develops the team in a very good way, with a lot of block, a lot of dodge, choosing strong arm as a double skill on the thrower. It's all good choices. The only thing is that he's playing a bit too risky at some point when he doesn't need to. For example, these dodges through here. He probably shouldn't have done those after using a reroll. They were quite risky. He did it anyways. And he made the same mistake that I did in the beginning, and he didn't protect the ball because he assumed that he would pick it up. It's a good assumption on an elf team, but without sure hands, it's even with sure hands, it's not a certainty. But sure hands would have made that even more unlikely to happen. But oh well, it's just how the game is sometimes. He could still turn it around, or at least get the draw game. It's entirely possible. Let's just see what happens. Okay, he's still going for that skink again instead of going for Nyctalios here. It's not good enough. And we'll just let ourselves be pushed back there, I believe. It's the best place for us to go to close this up for good. He might actually try to use this catcher to dodge through here. It's 3 dodges, but it's only one tackle zone each, and the last one through none, obviously, and try to keep the ball safe in the meantime. But he's focusing on creating a cage quite a bit when he wouldn't have the need to do so. He can just stay out of our reach back there with his catcher that has the ball and do other stuff than that. but that's the way he's playing it. It's definitely not a bad choice doing the cage, but it does put the ball into our reach, which is something he probably doesn't want to give us. And we can't break through with our skinks to attack him. He just would have to go 2 spaces back and maybe in the middle somewhere to have a good staging point for his next turn, to put enough pressure on us that we would be forced to take care of potential scoring threats first. And he could have tried to dodge through with his catchers here, and he's now doing pretty much that, but with another catcher and in a more riskier fashion, and now he failed. And that guy is stunned. And I do have a bribe. So I would maybe like to foul him. We'll see. I'm certainly not completely yeah, I can't think of the right word here, obviously, as always. And that's a KO, which is pretty nice. Let's see, I do want Mighty Jaw over there, but he's boneheading again. I shouldn't have said nice things about him. That probably gave him some ideas that were not healthy for him. Okay, that guy doesn't even have dodge, so we can reach him with Longtooth, which is probably the preferred blitz we can do here. Let's set up our defensive position first, though. And I'll even move Celerity up here. I still might want to foul here, but I want to see how this blitz goes first. It's the more important action, obviously. We only push him. Let's reroll that. I think we can afford to do that. And that is good enough for the moment. And I also want to follow, obviously. Oh, that's a stun. And that puts us in a very powerful situation now. Because if we can block him off from reaching the ball... Oh, this is interesting. Let's see, it does involve... No, yeah, I'd rather do this dodge here, rather than the going for it. Let's see. Works. And that should be good enough. He might still get there. You know what, let's, just in case, let's move Squirrel in the way. And then I'll use... You know what, I won't even foul. It's not worth the combined risk here. Let's just keep Twitchy back here as a bit of a backup. Okay. And he has limited options now. And so far but this obviously worked, so he can get there. But I want to make this more difficult for him, so we'll use sidestep to move to there. And so he still has to dodge to get to the ball. And that's just some intricacies here. Oh, and Swift is injured. And we don't have an apothecary anymore. Missed next game. Could be worse. And so what I was about to say, or was just saying, is obviously a moot point now. It's just so, because of sidestep, we got to choose where to be pushed. And being pushed here would have forced him to move this way and dodge away by that Saurus. Obviously, it doesn't happen that way because Swift is off the field. But that was the the theory there. And he will pass to that catcher here. And so it's a good choice that we put Twitchy here, because otherwise he could have just run past Mighty Jaw. He doesn't have tackle zones at the moment. Okay, he hasn't thrown yet, doesn't he? He's probably not sure if he wants to risk that throw. Yeah, he's the only player that can intercept. And for once I would like to get the lucky 6 there. That would be very funny. And would also allow us to get the touchdown with Longtooth. That would be cool. But where will that guy go? He probably just should try to make a run for it over here. Maybe? Okay, he's setting up for that possibility, I think. This guy will probably go there, or maybe here. We'll see. But that's what I'm thinking he might do. And he's definitely making good choices, but he's just sometimes, as I'm prone to do myself, making very risky ones as well, and they don't always work out for him. And that's a tendency you can easily get into with elves, because of their high agility. If things are rolling and you get every dodge that you want, and get your players to move where they want, where they should be, it's really easy to get overconfident. Oh, see. Okay, we could serve this guy. He couldn't do anything about it. But it probably isn't in our best interest to do so. And Mighty Jaw is now completely refusing any sort of cooperation. Okay. In that case, we do have some adjustments to make. Let's see, this guy does have a dodge, so... that's something to keep in mind. I don't want to move Crunch to keep that guy occupied, but we should move Nyctalius, and I believe it might actually... yeah, let's move him... no, let's not do that. Let's put him here. Just in case. And it's no use in not doing the blitz next. So we should just do that. And I will reroll that. Doesn't help us, unfortunately. But it's not as bad as it looks, actually, because we can still box him in quite effectively here. And this guy is our biggest threat still for scoring, so I'll try to lock down the possible dodge for him. And you always have to do these setups horizontally or vertically, not diagonally, just to create a complete bubble of 1 or 2 tackle zones to dodge through, as are displayed here. It's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Diagonally it would be without any tackle zones. At least into 2 directions, which is usually more than enough. Okay, let's see where he goes here. The alternative on moving Squirrel back here would have been to move him up here as well, probably to there, to create even bigger dodge problems for him. But I'd rather have the safety back here than over there, because he just needs 1 lucky dodge again to break out of there. But that's not what he needs. He needs to reroll that. But that's his last reroll card, though. So that's a big problem for him. We only have one left ourselves, so we're in a similar situation. But one is better than none. And that wasn't supposed to rhyme, but it ended up being what it was. Let's see, he can't get a good block here. We do have too many assists there. He can get a 1 dice here. Oh, and that's a pass on a 6+? Because he's in 3 tackle zones? Is that correct? Yeah, plus it's not a quick pass, it's a short pass. Okay, so putting Squirrel over there might have been the better choice, but it might have led to him dodging this guy over there and him just passing down this way. And there's no use in thinking what the best choice might have been, because everything we do affects what he does. And he does get some good dodges again, so that's a bit of a problem here. And we are once again in a dangerous situation from him. Let's see. That he shouldn't dodge like that. If he dodges out of there, he should dodge there or here. He still gets it, but it was a dumb move. He could have gotten an easier dodge there, and he got the exact roll that he needed. That could have been a 3+ roll. But because of that, we're now forced to blitz that guy. There's just no use. Let's move Longtooth down here as well, or Scar it is. We can use our Skinks for defense here, at least for the defensive setup. Before I do anything else, I do want to do the blitz with Crunch here, obviously. Let's just hope that I can get it. And I can. Okay, let's push him up here and follow. And I believe this is also the perfect opportunity to foul him. And if we get sent off, so be it. At least it will mean that the SPP from Squirrel are safe. And I do want to force as many dodges on him as possible. We only need one from him to stop his advancement. And let's see, we do get 2 assists. Okay, we have to use our bribe. He accepted it, so we didn't roll a 1 there. But okay, we didn't even get through the armor. We needed a 6 and we rolled a 4. And in case you don't know or didn't know yet, we were sent off because we rolled a double here. It's 2 2s, so we were caught fouling and we had to use the bribe. And that's the way it works in this game. Okay, he's dodging over there. He's starting with some risky dodges again. Let's just see if they work out. And I think at this point it's safe to say that we are probably playing the better game, and if I wouldn't have made the dumb mistakes that I did in the first half, we probably would be leading by 1 more touchdown now, maybe. It still means nothing. In the end, he might tie the game, he might not. We don't know. But it's getting close, and he is setting up in a way that will make it difficult for us to do anything. And he's going for it without a reroll, and he's getting the roll, so he's playing a very dangerous and very risky game, and it's working out for him. Oh, was that a misclick, or did he actually mean to end his turn? That's surprising. Okay. But I don't think we have a player in range. Well, maybe. You know what? Let's plan for the direct attack on the ball carrier. But that does involve us blocking with our Croxigore first, which scares me, obviously. And because of that, I do want to set up defensively first, and then we'll do that one. We might as well get the assist from Nectalios here, but not from over here, but from over there. That should give us a 3 dice block now. Oh no, we need one more assist. You know what? I don't care. We do roll a 1 anyway, so not going to happen. Can we still do that? No, that makes it impossible. So we'll change our plans a little bit. Instead, we do this blitz. It's just a push. He does have a fence, so we won't be able to move after, but we did blitz, so we can move. Okay, let's just move there. And also Twitchy to here. And this is perfect. Just a stun. An injury here would have been very nice. Added bonus. Would have allowed Longtooth to level up. He can still dodge out, but it is a lot more difficult for him now. He'll most likely still get it. Yeah, here we go. He's going for it. But he should try to dodge out his receiving player first, because handing off the ball or throwing the ball to a player in 2 tackle zones isn't what he should do. Or what? He handed off the ball into a player in 3 tackle zones. And he got it without a reroll. So yeah. If the game is nice enough to hand him that, yeah, you need to move first and then throw. There's nothing I can do. And he still should dodge first and then throw. But let's just see what his rolls are doing. This is a bit ridiculous, obviously. Yeah, let's intercept. Or not, but he doesn't catch the ball. So at least there is that. Is that a sidestep guy? Yes, it is. So that's a bit of a bummer. Yeah, I don't, but I want to activate the player. Let's see. Good enough. Okay, so just in case, I can move Young Bull back now. Or over there. Let's see. I really hope that this will work. Let's do this block first. It's only a push, but it's okay. And it all depends where he decides to be pushed if I don't get this. let's take the reroll. Not what we wanted, but it could have been a lot worse. And our best choices are now are to get as many players there as is possible to make this hopefully impossible for him. And at the same time, I would like to set up for a possible touchdown myself. So Twitchy is in range now, just barely. And that's a turnover for me. But we have 3 tackle zones on the ball. He needs to do some ridiculous dodging to get that. And, well, we'll see. It was definitely a fun game. He probably would have tied or won, maybe even, if he made some different choices. They weren't necessarily bad ones, but I think, at least in some situations, he could have done better. Okay, he did get the turnover there. And so we're at the end. Yes. We need to pick up the ball anyway, so let's try that first. We don't, so it's over. But we still win. And I'm happy about that. Rocky start, but with a good finish. It looks like I always need the wake-up call in the first half to play a good second half. It shouldn't be like that, but, well, it is what it is. And Crunch got the MVP, so he's leveling up. That's really good, and his lineman leveled up as well, so he got something out of that, definitely. And let's check out the level ups before we end this episode. First off, Squirrel. Okay, yeah, we'll just get sidestep on him. I do want more sidestep again. That's a pretty easy one, and with Crunch, let's see what the level up is. It's a normal one, so I'll finally take Break Tackle on 1 to give us a little bit more of a few more movement options. Yeah, forming words, sentences in English is hard. And I'll spend the money somehow, probably just adding and subtracting some stuff. But I'll do that off camera. So that's it for today. I hope you had fun with this match and learned something. And enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. And if you want to see me play more Blood Bowl in the future, just subscribe to my channel. I really hope that you do. And as always, thanks for watching. I hope that you tune in next time and have a nice day. Bye.